Okay, we're going to do some more factoring practice with trinomials. So you can see here I've got page 22 in the blue homework packet, and I'm going to go through the odd numbers, and I would like you to work on the even numbers. I've already set up our X and the box so that we can do our factoring. In order to find the numbers, the values that go in the top here, we're going to take our A and our C value and multiply. So we end up with a -6. And then this down here is just the B value as it's written. So we have a +5. So we have to figure out what are the factors that multiply to -6, but they need to add to a +5. So I could say I have -1 times 6, or 1 times a -6. I could have -2 times 3, or a 2 times a -3. Now, if I take a look at those, I see that if I were to have -1 plus 6, I would get 5 as the sum. So I'm going to split this up now. I keep the A value, so I have 2t squared. This becomes my first center value, or my first B value now, minus 1t plus 6t, and my C value is the same, -3. So that's what goes inside each of my boxes. 2t squared minus 1t plus 6t minus 3. And so now I'm going to think about what are those things that they have in common. We call those our factors. So what are the values I can pull out from each row and column? I'm going to start here at the corner. The easiest way to always do this is I have 2t squared, so one of them will be a 2t, and the other one is going to be just a t. All right. If I look here in this second column, I see that they are both negative, but they both don't have a t. So the only thing I can pull out is a -1. Below, these both have a 3 in common. I could pull a +3 out of both. So now, when I write my actual answer, I'm going to write it as sets of parentheses. So the quantity of t plus 3 times the quantity of 2t minus 1. And that would be my final answer for this problem. Let's work on the next one. We end up getting -18 here, and -7 stays for our B value. All of the factors for -18. I have 1 times -18, or -1 times +18. I have a 2 times a -9, or a -2 times 9. 3 times -6, or -3 times 6. And what I'm really looking for is to get that -7 as my sum. I need the 9 to be negative, and I need a +2. So I'm going to write that out again. I've got 3p squared plus 2p minus 9p minus 6. And that's what goes in the boxes. 3p squared plus 2p minus 9p minus 6. So let's find everything we can in common, all the factors. Start with that 3p and the p in the corner, it makes it easier. Straight up and down here in our column, both can be divided by a +2. Straight across here, both could be divided by a -3. So now, when we write our factoring out, we have the quantity of p minus 3 times the quantity of 3p plus 2. And that's our answer. That's our final solution.